Welcome to the Tea Grannies. I'm Elise.
And I'm Maria. It's time for a very exciting bonus episode, so pour yourself a cup of tea and let's get started.
We are very excited to announce this next step in the Tea Grannies era. We are launching a Patreon.
Woo!
Cheers, applause.
Everybody party.
Confetti and fireworks. It will be launching on May 1st, and we thought we'd just, chat a little bit about it, talk about what to expect, talk about why we're doing this.
And what you're going to get if you sign up, because I think that's most important.
That's what you want to know. Is it just for the money? What do you get out of the deal? Yeah.
If we were podcasting for the money, I think we've been doing it wrong. But
something about us giving content away for free for the last several years. Yeah, not sure about that money strategy right there, but yeah.
Took us a while to do it, but it's here. So we will tell you a little bit about it. We're going to have 3 tiers, and Elise is going to share with us how awesome they are.
I guess off the top, we should also say that we'll still be putting out our podcast content, and you'll still be able to access that for free. You'll get the regular episodes for free. But we do have some fun stuff for people that are willing to, pay us to keep doing this, because we do take quite a bit of time out of our week, and we have day jobs, and we want to be writers, and we are writers. So we just put that off a lot, which is why we say wannabe all the time. Yes. But yeah, if you're able to support us financially, we will be eternally grateful, and you do get something out of the deal for the most part. So yeah, let's go through the tiers, how we're going to set this up. So we're going to start with 3 fun and exciting tiers. And we have ideas for building this out, fleshing it out more over time, but we want to start here and see how this goes and see if there's
you all got to sign up or there won't be more tiers.
Exactly.
That's kind of what we're getting at.
We want to see if this works first.
Yeah.
Before we put in all the work to make it complicated. So the first basic tier is our decaf tier. It is for those who just, you just want to hang out. You just want to support the podcast. We appreciate you. You appreciate us. It's love all around. We can sing Kumbaya together later, and it's a good time. And then the next tier, which is kind of the start of the exciting stuff, is the morning tea tier. If you don't drink tea, you're also welcome. We're not going to alienate you or force you to drink tea. You can bring your coffee. You can bring your kombucha. You could, bring your water. We'll respect it. But for the morning tea tier, members will have access to our bonus episode archive. Bonus episodes. So there will be some bonus content that we intend to release about once a month, or as often as we're able with our schedule as it is. And these bonus episodes will vary in length. So they'll probably be on the shorter side. Our regular episodes are just kind of the longer content, and this will be some little tidbits, but there's room for some Patreon patron input here. So if you have a topic you've been wanting us to talk about and we haven't been talking about it on the show, and you're just kind of you're ready, you're waiting, send us an email as a morning tea patron member, and we will add that topic to our bonus content list, which will be exclusive to you.
No topic is too small.
Right.
Exactly. That's the thing about our long form episodes, is sometimes we're doing one big topic over an hour or whatever, and there's lots of little things that only take 10 or 15 minutes to talk about that we would love to cover. So that's kind of what our bonus episodes are gonna be like.
That's what they're for.
Exactly.
So send us what you want to hear about. And I want to say no topic is off limits, but I think that, that's probably not true. Within reason.
I think the obvious ones are off limits.
Yeah. And if you're not sure, you can ask us, are you willing to talk about this? And we can discuss it, and we can, talk about it. So it's a conversation, but we're looking forward to seeing what people want to hear about. And then the third tier is the afternoon tea. And once again, if you don't drink tea, you are still welcome to join this
You're
tier.
welcome.
We will not force it on you. But members will have access to our bonus episode archive as well, and the bonus content that we release each month. And then membership to this tier also includes a Discord channel. This is the very exciting thing, which will feature bonus content discussions, a 24-hour writing room, and writing sprints hosted by, drumroll please, yours truly, Maria and Elise, as scheduling allows, because like we've said, we're busy people. But yeah, we would like to host some writing sprints for people. Just, we know how important that motivation has been for us in our writing journey. And if we can offer that to other people, I think that's pretty cool. So sprints will be announced in the Discord. And then also we might mention it on our socials so that more people are aware of it. And then the third and final item of the Afternoon Tea Club is an online book club membership coming soon. We haven't fully fleshed it out yet, but this will be, coming down the pipe eventually. So if you're ever wanted to be in a book club with Maria and me, this is your chance. Now is the time.
For a book club that doesn't require in-person attendance.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of us would enjoy that, because that's one of the things that holds me back from being in a book club.
Is having to go in person.
Yeah, I'm like, well, what if it's like, the last Wednesday of every month? And I'm like, well, I can't do that every month.
Sure.
And then if I miss it, then, So
yeah,
online book club, that's going to be the shit. I feel like.
The dream.
I know, I'm really excited about it. It's going to take a little while to get it organized. It'll likely be like a book every 3 months or so, because doing monthly book clubs a little much for my current schedule. And I say that like I'm not reading tons of books every month, but it's not like a sign reading. It's different.
It's different.
Really different. But yeah, I know our listeners will have some questions. So we're going to try and answer some of those now, because, we love to be organized and we want you guys to know what you're getting into. So what to expect from bonus episodes. Elise kind of covered this, but bonus episodes will be shorter and focus on topics that, while important, don't require an entire episode to cover. Yes, you can submit topics and questions for bonus episodes as long as you are a Patreon. And how often will we host writing sprints? I feel like this will be the most common question we get. Yes. So we're aiming to do them at least every second month, like a scheduled block. But if we can do them more often, we definitely will. Yeah. And you will be able to find one or both of us in the writing Discord when we're working on our own drafts. So if you want to pop in there when it's time for you to write, maybe we'll be there. Maybe some other members will be there.
Yeah.
It's just going to be nice to have that.
Yeah.
And the Discord channel, like Elise said, there's going to be a 24/7 sprint room. We have bonus content discussions and requests so that you can shoot us a note there. Hey, I want to hear about blah, blah, blah and writing. And we can add it to our list. And eventually, when book club is ready to launch, there will be a section for book club and we'll have discussions there. It'll be fairly low key. I'm not going to give you guys homework. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like Book Report City. But funny comments and memes are most welcome. So that's our frequently asked questions section.
There we go.
Frequently asked by myself to Elise.
Frequently asked by the Tea Rannies about the Tea Rannies. So, why are we doing this, I guess, is the next question. I guess could be a frequently asked question. I don't know if people think about this. I think about this. You and I think
we're
about
writers.
this.
We want to know what everyone's motivation is.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, it doesn't even really need to be said. We're hoping that this Patreon account can help us support our show expenses. We're running the show anyways, but this would just mean that we'd be able to run it for longer if we end up having to make a decision like that. Finances always help. But I think the bigger one for us is this community aspect that has sort of started to develop around the podcast organically. And we want to facilitate that in a more intentional way than just, popping onto Instagram every now and again. So we're hoping to create a space where writers can come together that isn't so overwhelming like some other spaces can be, and doesn't require in-person attendance, which we all love very much for a variety of reasons.
This is like introvert heaven.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly. That's all we're trying to do. Introvert heaven. It's not a tall order or anything.
No. And we have such a good community of writers that we like to chat with across our socials. So having everyone kind of in one place where we can work together would be awesome. and writing sprints. Like that's one of the main things that a lot of people mention is like they don't have a writing buddy or they have trouble making time to write.
Yeah.
So I thought, if we're all struggling with the same thing, why don't we band together?
Exactly.
And it's nice to have the motivation and the accountability and the community, right? Like that's one of the things I love about Bookstagram. And there's lots of writers on Bookstagram too, but I think less than I'd like. Come to me, writers.
Yeah, where are you? Oh man, I think there's still quite a few of them, but
it's true.
It's hard to find them sometimes.
Yeah, and there's so many people who are like, I want to write, but I'm scared to. And this is kind of the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, I think this could be a really safe space for that kind of thing because getting started. I mean, we did our whole that's how we launched the whole podcast in the first place. The first episode was called "Getting Started." Like, how do you write? How do you do the write? Yeah. So I think this could be really cool, and I hope lots of people are interested in joining, and we'll see. It'll be kind of fun. Okay, so if we're starting a Patreon account, then it stands to reason that we're planning season 5 of the Tea Grannies. Yeah. Yay! We are planning more content. So we've been talking about season 5 since season 4 started, and probably before that. Like we've had ideas kind of rolling around, and I think we have more ideas than season 5 can hold. So that's that's great for continuity. Season 6, blah blah blah. That still sounds very far away and very scary, but hopeful. And I think the plan for this upcoming season, we're going to be bringing back some of the content that we found was most well received over the last 4 seasons that we've done. So that'll probably look like writing critique segments. We really like doing those first pages, or query letters and different things that people have found it valuable to get feedback on. Interviews with people who are smarter and know more things than we do. Those are always very fun and very lovely. We learn, you learn, we all learn together. More kumbaya. Circle, hand-holding, singing. Wonderful. But I think we also want to do some more, like with the bonus content, we'll be talking about more tips and tricks kind of things, or just different FAQs and things people run up against. And then with the public content, we've been really enjoying the Where Writers Go Wrong segments, because it's just a fun way to talk about, like, here's things we've seen that we don't really like, and most people seem to not really like, and here's why, and here's how you can avoid doing that. And I think that's just really practical. Like, learn from these mistakes so you don't have to make them. We've been enjoying those. I think other people have been enjoying them. So you can expect some of that as well. And then the new thing that we are very excited to try out is we want to do some panels, which is very exciting and could be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for more on that. Yes. The idea would be to bring a bunch of people, again, who are smarter and more knowledgeable than we are, yada yada, onto the show together. So have I don't know how many, but for example, have 5 different people on the show critiquing a bunch of query letters. Like, we read them together and we talk about what works, what doesn't, and just learning from each other that way, live and as downloading the episode afterwards. It could be really fun.
It's going to be great.
We're really excited about it, and I honestly just can't wait to try that out.
I know. I'm so excited, because what inspired our first pages segment of the show was Elise and I go to this writing conference. It's called the Surrey International Writers Conference, and we've been a few times. And they have a panel of agents, and someone reads a submitted first page, submitted from the audience, one of the writers, and the agents put their hands up when they would have stopped if they'd received this. Yeah. So if the piece finishes without anyone putting their hands up, or not everybody, then they go through and discuss what they liked, didn't like. And if all the agents raise their hands, they stop, and the agents go through and say why they stopped. And that was one of the things that inspired it. But I would love to do it. If we do it as a panel, we can do like a first page, maybe first few pages, or query letters, and do it with like some guests. I think that's going to be really fun. Yeah. And just for FYI, my page was selected once for one of these panels. And I did get really nice feedback, but I did almost throw up when they started reading it. I was like, oh no, it's happening. They picked me.
The dream, but also the nightmare.
Yes, and I was waiting for one of the agents to put their hands up, like this is going to be the best or the worst day of my life. Yeah, and none of them put their hands up.
It was wonderful. So grateful. I was so proud of you.
So that was pretty great. Thank you. Proud. I was really happy about that. It was slightly terrifying. So we're going to do that to you guys now. I just,
we're going to make you feel like throwing up. Great pitch. We're good at sales. Can you tell?
Do you want to feel super anxious and on the verge of throwing up? Listen to the tea granny.
Oh, that should be our new headline on Patreon that we've been trying to come up with. That's what we should put in there.
Yes.
Feel like vomiting? God. Tune in. Tune in.
Oh gosh. So all that to say, season 5 is coming September 2024. So we will announce it everywhere, obviously, because we're obnoxious like that. So you don't have to worry about forgetting about it because we will not let you.
Because that's marketing. Welcome.
That's marketing. And honestly, it works for me. I'm like the ADHD person here who can't remember anything. So I love reminders. Please remind me that things are happening because otherwise.
I won't be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I have similar problems. Okay. We could end it there, but we have lives and plans and writing plans that apparently people like to hear about. So one of the things that we like to do at the end of a season is this kind of bonus episode update on what's coming next for the show, but also what's coming next for us and our lives. So as you might have guessed, if we're launching season 5 in September, that means we're taking a bit of a break over the summer from the grind of the show, excluding that bonus content that we have planned for members of our Patreon. Yes. But we will also be, very very ambitiously trying to achieve multiple personal projects that we may or may not get to. So we're going to talk about, our summer hopefuls in terms of not our summer hopefuls reading list, but our summer hopefuls. Here's the shit we want to get done this summer.
And if we tell everybody, it might actually happen.
Maybe
because
have to
they might ask about it, and we don't want to be like,
that just made me not want to actually say anything now. I don't want to tell you what.
You see why my notes were blank in this section, right? Yeah.
Okay, but my plans are fairly honest in my notes, so I will tell you what I hope to do. I'm in between summer school semesters right now. I'm going back to school again in September to work on finishing up my degree. So over the summer, I'm just focusing on bringing in the dough, making the money, so that I can ease into full-time classes in September, not worry so much about the finances. So I don't know how much time I'll have. I have some promising contracts and stuff lining up. It's all very exciting. Nothing's written in stone yet. But my project list, because of all this, is simple and yet still somehow stupidly ambitious. I want to do a full edit of my Bug Babies new adult fantasy novel and get it ready.
Which is awesome.
Query. Thank you.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
It's a mashup of The Witcher and the Netflix movie Love and Monsters, which is very fun if you haven't watched it. If you're afraid of giant bugs, maybe, take some gravel before you watch it. But it's
we just tapped out of a nature documentary recently because there's too many bugs.
These are giant bugs, so I find it's different. Like if I can't watch like a swarm of bugs on a screen, I cannot look at it. Have to turn away. But if it's a single giant, like this is a made up bug. Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
It's all good. It's important stuff. So yeah, I want to edit that up, get it ready to query, see if anyone is interested in giant man-eating bug monsters. And then I would like to finish my dream project of proofreading the print layout for book 1 in the Nymph Keepers series. That ancient thing, that old rag.
That's not ancient. It's fine.
Only a couple years old. But yeah, I'm doing print layout for Roots of Blood. I have a wonderful friend who did a trade of services for me. I worked on something for them. They worked on something for me. I have this beautiful document on my computer that could turn into a physically printed thing. I just need to freaking go through it and make sure there are no errors. And then I will have a physical copy of my first ever self-published book. So it's very exciting, very excited. Will I get to it? I don't know. Hopefully. At the time of this recording, my work schedule is very much in flux and looks like insane. So we'll have to wait and see. I have big hopes and dreams, but we'll see what happens.
And I do want the listeners to know that I have put in a request for extra physical copies of Roots of Blood for giveaway. So, yeah, I'm putting the pressure on that way. Because I want a copy for me, but, you know, it sounds better if I'm like, Elise, we should do a giveaway.
This is not selfish at all.
Not selfish at all. I don't want it for my shelf, for my trophy collection of books.
My trophy collection.
Hey, it's going to go with my special editions.
Oh my God.
It's going to be a trophy.
Oh my God.
I know. Elise is blushing right now. I think it's great. Oh, so my plans, as you heard me say earlier, this was blank before we started recording. And so I was forced to decide what I was going to say I was working on. So I don't know. I always say I'm going to work on things. And then my brain's like, you know what, because you said it, I think you want to work on something else. So what I'm going to say is I have multiple projects all at different stages editing right now, which is a real pain in the tush. But right now I'm working on the second draft of my rom-com that I wrote for NaNoWriMo a couple years ago. So once that one is done, it's going to go out to some beta readers, and then I'm probably just going to let it sit for another year or so, because that's kind of what I do. I can't look at my drafts really close together. Like they get looked at and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna deal with you later.
Yep.
And I have 2 fantasy romance projects that both need another full round of edits. One of them more in depth than the other, possibly. I feel like I'm gonna eat my words with that. I feel like they're both gonna be difficult, but I love both those stories, and honestly they're both fun, and like I can't wait to publish them. So I'm like, okay, I just gotta edit. My favorite. But aside from that, I'll be busy with horse shows over the summer, like always, and the usual crazy work deadlines right in July, the worst time, and hopefully getting away for a couple weekends here and there. But I always say I'm going to go away a lot, and then
you don't because life is too busy. Yeah,
it happens. And so like I was saying to like my husband and my family that like we should sit down and look at the summer schedule that we all have, and like, you know, what weekends can we all get together, like my parents' place. And they're all like, oh, it's so far ahead, we don't have to plan. I'm like, okay, no, listen, you don't have to plan, I have to plan. Me. This is actually about me.
I mean, I guess you can set up the disclaimer then right from the onset of the summer. If you don't want to plan in advance, then I reserve the right to say no to anything and everything.
Well, yeah, but I think if I do is what I did last year, where I print like the schedule, because like it's a whole thing. But anyways, I'll print the schedule, and then I put my horse shows on it, and then I put my dad and I's work deadlines on it, and then I show it to everybody, and I have highlighted the free weekends. And I'm like, these are the weekends we can come up there. So whether you're there or not, if you guys want to join. And you see, guys, this is why Elise and I take so long to record episodes, because I just went off on the longest tangent that no one needed to hear about my summer plans.
Hey,
and
it was part of the personal plan section. So
it is.
It counts. Yeah. It counts. And that just lets me talk about the fact that, yes, I'm planning a potentially 2-week-long holiday over the summer.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of you.
We'll see how that goes, but that's
I like it.
I might just be saying to all of the contracts that want me so badly, so flattering, bye. I'm gone for 2 weeks. I might.
Sorry, I'm going on vacation. I mean, for the listeners, I went on my first holiday in like 4 years. Amazing. In February. It was for a horse show in California, and people will tell me that that's not a vacation, but let me tell you, when you haven't gone somewhere in 4 years, it's a vacation, and it felt like a vacation to me. It was great. So, you know, you got to do it.
I like it.
Don't forget to take time off this summer, everybody.
Yeah, that's to us and to everyone.
Yeah. We immortalized it on the show, so now maybe we'll listen.
Yep.
You never know. But anyway, that is the tea on us. Thank you so much for listening and sharing and following. We appreciate you. Remember to check out our page on Patreon, which will be linked in our show notes for easy findings. And thank you to the wonderful Michael Fabro for providing our music, and to the wonderful guests we've had on our show this season. Don't forget to rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on all our socials at the Tea Grannies Podcast. Happy writing, and we'll see you in September.